On her wedding night, the woman was kidnapped before she could even take off her veil. She dialed her husband in desperation, only to hear her best friend's moans through the phone. Her heart shattered into dust. The man she married wasn't her savior. He was the one who sold her out. He only married her for her billion-dollar inheritance. And as the kidnappers shoved her off the bridge, she thought it was the end. But when she opened her eyes again, it was the day of her engagement, 6 months earlier. Just outside the door, she overheard the scumbag plotting to drug her. In her past life, that drug stole her innocence and her future. But this time, she'd be the one writing the script. As the drug took hold, she spotted the man who once tried to save her. Without hesitation, she walked up and kissed him. The man, already enamored by her, pulled her closer. Meanwhile, the scumbag and the scheming woman barged into the room with reporters, ready to expose her. They heard the shower running and smirked in triumph. Cameras were raised, headlines were ready, but the door opened from the outside. The woman leaned lazily against the frame, smiling coldly. "Looking for me?" she asked. The scheming woman stammered, accusing her of changing dresses after being torn apart by her lover. Just then, a waiter arrived with her lost bag, apologizing for staining her clothes. The scheming woman panicked, claiming it was all an act. The woman ignored her nonsense and turned to the groom. "You brought reporters to your own engagement. What's your plan?" The reporters stepped forward, exposing that the scumbag had invited them. The man stuttered, denying everything, then tried to put on his deeply in love act. But before he could finish, the other man walked out of the bathroom, dripping wet and dangerously calm. He pretended not to know her and turned his mockery on the scumbag couple. Then, in front of everyone, he revealed their secret affair. The woman grabbed the scumbag's arm, smiled with tears in her eyes, and whispered, "So I'm the extra one." Then she turned and walked away gracefully, leaving chaos behind. The scumbag chased after her, desperate to prove his love. She smiled faintly and made her move. "If you really love me, buy back my mother's lost necklace at tomorrow's auction." He hesitated. It was the same necklace he promised to buy for the scheming woman. She seized the moment. "If you can't, the engagement is off." Greed won over guilt. He agreed. Later, the woman met with the mysterious man and hatched her plan. He smirked, jealousy flickering in his eyes. "So, you'll accept his necklace, then marry me?" She laughed, dazzling and dangerous. The scumbag deserves to lose everything, money and love both.
The woman slammed the door to the lounge open, her eyes filled with disdain as she stared at her fiancé with his adopted sister, entangled in a passionate embrace. The moment her best friend and a swarm of reporters rushed in, the woman immediately struck a pose, heartbroken and devastated. Not long ago, she had cooperated with the scumbag fiancé, flaunting their love at a charity auction dinner, proudly announcing he was going to buy her the symbolic gem necklace of their love. Then, casually linking arms with the scheming woman, she introduced her as a guest at the engagement party, laughing without restraint as she teased the scheming woman for trying to catch her cheating. When the crowd showed their surprise, the scheming woman quickly tried to cover up, claiming it was a misunderstanding. The woman turned and demanded an apology from the scumbag, thinking she was jealous. The scumbag just stood there in silence. She pretended to be hurt and walked away. The auction started, and the first lot was the very necklace she wanted. The scumbag, eager to impress, immediately raised his paddle to bid. As he smugly showed off in front of her, someone else raised the bid. Seeing the man who made the higher bid, the scumbag gritted his teeth and threatened him. The man smiled contemptuously and replied, "The highest bidder wins." With no choice, the scumbag gritted his teeth and kept raising the price. The man kept pushing back, and the woman egged the scumbag on. In their back and forth, the scumbag finally won the necklace for $6 billion. The crowd praised him as the perfect husband, while the scheming woman seethed with envy. But the biggest shock came when the necklace turned out to be something the man had auctioned off himself. The scumbag stormed over, demanding an explanation. The man mocked him, saying he was just helping the scumbag prove his love to the woman. The woman walked over, pretending to be hurt, and said, "I didn't realize buying me a gift would make you so mad." She pretended to return the necklace to the scumbag. The scumbag quickly apologized. At that moment, the scheming woman walked over with a glass of wine, apologizing for the previous day's incident. As the woman reached out to take the wine, the scheming woman deliberately splashed it all over herself. "Unless you forgive me, I'll kneel and apologize," she said, pretending to be sincere. The scumbag, feeling sorry for her, pulled her up. But in the midst of everyone's gossip, the woman lifted the wine glass and said, "Now, this is what I splashed." Without a second thought, she threw the wine in the scheming woman's face. Turning to leave with the scumbag, just as they reached the door, he claimed he needed to bid on something else. As soon as the scumbag was out, the man appeared in front of her. She grinned and said, "I've got a great show for you to watch." She led him to the lounge, where they listened to the scumbag and the scheming woman plotting to steal her wealth. As their voices became more intimate, she knew it was time. With a powerful shove, she burst into the lounge. In the startled gaze of the two, she declared, "If the scumbag wants to cheat, let him do it in the open."